My life on the X list.
Hey there, what's up YouTube? It's me, the Diva X, and it is Saturday, September 28th, 2013, and it is 9:52, wow. It's 9:52 p.m., and I am here, and I wanted to touch base on some, my post. In this past week, I've read a lot of disappointed... Are people expressing their disappointments about things in their life and things that didn't go the way they planned, excuse me, or the way they expected? And I feel like, just like myself, you have to. I mean, this is something I've not only struggled with in the beginning, but have learned to not do, is not make expectations. Let me tilt this camera a little bit. There you go. To not make expectations, especially when you can't confirm that things are going to go the way you want. When you have other people involved, when you have the success of things depending on things that you cannot control, then you really can't have those. You can't really set expectations because you can't control those things. And I feel like doing that really, it sets you up for those disappointments, and you get disappointed at things that you really don't have you really shouldn't be getting disappointed about. That's part of it. That's like the first thing. Not having those expectations, and therefore, if things don't go that way, you don't feel a certain way. You're not feeling like it was not successful, or you weren't successful, or things just whatever the expected outcome was. At least you don't feel that you didn't live up to that expectation, and I think like that's very important, because it really helps with motivation with yourself, because if you continue to do things and you're trying to have these situations that are outside of your control, or you're factoring in things that are outside of your control, you're really going to lose that, because it's you can't control it. And then I mean, I can speak from experience, even with just the show, like and it's funny because it's an ongoing joke between me and Sam, is still to this day, you don't really, and this is just my experience for the Exotica show, like week after week, people can come and people cannot come, show up, not show up, and every week it's still something, because you never know. It's still something that I worry about. It's still something, and not really worry per se. Like I'm like, oh, there's people there. Like I'm not stressed about it, because I can't control it. I'm not like counting numbers. I'm not like but in my mind, any day, any week could be the week that nobody shows up, and I'm very aware of that. And I think like that's part of it. Like, it's not, I can't control that, and so I don't stress over it. I don't like beat myself up over it. I just kind of do what I can do, what's in my control, to make it the best that I can do, and put my best foot forward, and the rest is up to the people who show or don't show. And I feel like that's helped me not stress over just the show factor. Back when I was doing promotions at the Express, when I was doing parties and stuff, there was an era there where we tried doing like dress up parties, like people come dressed as Studio 54, disco, Greek goddesses and stuff like that. But unfortunately, people, gays, let's call it what it is, and I'm going to say people, maybe some people, I don't know, specifically these parties for gay people, but gays do not want to at the time, want to wear their Abercrombie, don't want to not wear their Hollister, don't not want to wear their, whatever label it is that they have that they just bought for the week. They don't not want to be seen in that. They want to be seen in, they don't want to be seen in disco era. They don't, and again, this is a general statement. This isn't everybody. There are those people who did participate, who have participated, who support, who like to have fun. However, even in doing those things, when you have only a selected amount of people, or not selected, it's really like, I really feel like it was not wasn't a waste because there were people that was participating, but again, having those expectations that everyone's going to show up in theme really kind of was disappointing. And again, this is way like years ago, but so we just continued them because it's you can't have a theme party when and there's 5 people dressed up. Like, it just doesn't go well. I mean, it just doesn't. It feels like a flop. It feels like. But again, that's us expecting that people are going to want to dress up. That's me expecting that people are going to want to participate in this manner. And that's something I don't have control over, so I just said, well, we won't do those parties anymore. And that's what comes of those types of situations, because no one likes to not feel like they're successful, or no one likes to feel disappointment. So I think that's part of it. In addition, so that's part of that. And again, I'm putting myself out there as far as what my those times that I put my expectations. And let's be clear: if you have a committed situation where people are telling you they're going to come, and people are saying they're going to show up, and people are saying they're going to support you, or if you have if you get a confirmation that this is happening at this time, you're there or you're not, and people don't show up and people confirm that they're going to show up, then that's different. That you can have those expectations, don't get me wrong. But if you do take on those expectations, be prepared for the disappointments. Then I feel like the other part of it is, in having those expectations, in having, worried about where's everybody at, why isn't no one here, why isn't no one dressed up, why only 5 people are dressed up. I mean, again, going back to my examples, is we lose out on the experience of what's happening. We lose out on the fun and catering to those 5 people who did show up to dress up. And we lose out on the experience of whatever the overall outcome was, making it 100% of what it needs to be, because we're worried about what it isn't. And I feel like guilty as charged. I'm not, again, not so much in the recent past, because I've learned to kind of, but in the past, yeah, things, the events. I mean, I would be so stressed out about, not stressed out like pulling my hair, cutting my weave, shaving my head or nothing like that, but, constantly worried about, well, there's only this many people here, there's only that many people here, what's going to happen, and it's just like, okay, well, what about the people that are here? Let's put our big girl panties on, and let's put our best foot forward, and let's just knock this bitch out. Like, let's just do this, and move forward with exactly how we anticipated it being, and not worry about what didn't happen, or not who's not there. I feel like that's like, and I feel like that's the most important thing, is that we lose out on the experience that is happening, and because again of the things that are not. And that's important to pay attention to when you get into that mode, because sometimes you do it unconsciously, like you don't know that it's happening, which I guess is the definition of unconsciously, but or subconsciously, I don't know what one of those words is. Conscious, something happens in your conscience, girl, okay, that it isn't happening the way you wanted it to, or the way you anticipated. So I feel like I had to make this video because I posted something today: if you want less disappointments, make less expectations. And I didn't put any explanation, I didn't put any kind of examples to it, and I feel like it really to myself, is it weighed on me all week as I was reading. I'm like, well, and then to go on Facebook and like kind of call people out, I feel like, or talk about how unsuccessful your event, or not unsuccessful, but put it out there that the event wasn't, or talk about your disappointment. That's a lot for people. You push people away in that way, if I would have went on Facebook and talked on the events that didn't go as planned and talked about, then people aren't going to want to go, because then it puts in their brain that, well, this didn't really pop off, so why should I even worry about that? I mean, and that's just a marketing standpoint of things. It is what it is. If you put your business like in a negative light, or you put your events in a negative light, then people don't want to participate in those things. And I feel like, from a marketing standpoint, it's just a bad idea, because you don't want to have a negative connotation with your events. You don't want to have a negative connotation. I mean, I never did. Well, maybe you do, but I never did. I wanted people to, maybe this one didn't go well, but maybe the next one's going to be the one, and you want to, and when you're in the midst of it, you want to thrive for that, and it's hard to do when things just aren't going your way. But again, you got to just make with what you got happen, or, yeah. I don't know what I just said. It just came out. And so, but you just got to make do with what you got, ultimately. So I wanted to share that tidbit of information and really put myself out there as the example, and really kind of give my thoughts and opinion as to why I posted that, because I feel strongly about that. I feel like, because I feel less stressed about things when I don't have those expectations, and I feel like if everyone would just have little less expectations of people, of things, of events, of different things, then we would all maybe live a little happier and not stress over things, or not post the hate, and not call people out. Don't stress on things you can't control, people you can't control. The elements of the X. Well, speaking of the X, the X factor, and meaning the X, like as in the unknown. You can't stress on that. You cannot worry about that, and you can try to figure it out all day long, but when it comes to like events and dealing with people, you just can never figure it out. You just can't. Everyone's different. Everyone has different MOs. Everyone has different mentalities. Everyone has, they don't want to be seen outside, out of their outfits, their new garb. They want to be, they want to represent, turn up, all that fun stuff, and you can't change that. And so I don't know. I just felt like I needed to give a little bit more elaboration on what I had posted, because it really was like, well, I feel bad that these things that I did see posted didn't go a certain way, or wasn't as maybe successful. But then I also felt bad because it was kind of portrayed in not as a successful event. Like, I feel like, sorry that it didn't, but don't put I don't know. Anyhow. That was my Mariah moment at the end of each video I've had. Yeah. So yeah, I just, it's been a busy week. I've been kind of just a little stressed out, not on anything events related. Just kind of, I have a lot of thoughts in my head about things that are happening in my life. But I feel at peace. Like, I feel like I'm not concerned about all the bullshit that I had going on maybe 4 or 5 videos ago. I feel I'm happy. All my relationships in my life, I feel like, are on a good level. There's one that I am like doing a plan of action with. Like, I need to approach it in a very appropriate way, and it's gonna happen. But the thing is, it's an important most important relationship probably in my life, outside family wise, and I just need to approach it in a very, very appropriate manner, or else it can go really bad. And so I'm going to I'm planning because I have to be ready for anything that could happen, and so I'm working on that. And that's kind of like the only relationship in my life that I'm kind of dealing, that's weighing heavy on me, and not even really heavy. I just need to get the shit together. And then but other than that, I feel really like all my other relationships, friendships, whatever you want to call them, are in a good place. I've put my foot down. I've said what I've had to say. I'm taking control of the things I can control, and I feel like I'm all the stuff that I've been talking about, all the bad stuff that I know I've put on here. And people ask why I share my stuff here, because I feel like when you go to the show, it's a place just to go and escape. But this is, if you want to know about me, this is where you're going to find out about me. Good or bad or indifferent. Now, do I sit here and name names and call people out and whatever? No, because it's none of your business. But I let you know what's going on with me, and I feel like this was where I get to do that. I don't go to therapy. I don't talk to people in this regard. Most people find out what I'm going through here, and that's okay with me, because I feel like I don't get interrupted. It's a great reflection tool. Like, every now and again, I go back and watch my videos like, bitch, where the fuck were you at that moment in time, and I feel it's important for me. So thank you guys for watching, and sorry that it's been a journey, and I feel like this journey right now is on an uphill, and I'm excited. So thanks for watching. Okay, bye.